beautiful, dreary looking day. But we've got somebody special here. Her name is Apple. And no, she's not the one that Eve picked off the tree. Okay? But we were coming home from church today and we were talking about what President Trump has been doing with his orders, executive orders that he could do. And I didn't know how Gen Z really felt because I'm a baby boomer. If you can't tell, I'm a baby boomer. That's Gen Z. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things and let you hear what a Gen Z thinks about what's going on. So, starting this Sunday, I'm launching this powerful new interview series where we tackle and talk important big topics. We're going to sit down with key people and voices, whether it's a dog, a cat, or a man, or a mouse. Yeah, we might even interview her mouse. I don't know, maybe a rat. But anyway, who should I bring first? Drop your suggestion because right now I've picked the first, but you can pick the next first by letting me know. Right now, I want to ask Apple something that we were talking about. Oh, somehow or another, my paperwork's got all this stuff that I don't need. It was right here. I had 5 questions that I was going to ask her. So it's not going to be a long interview, but it's going to be a good interview. Apple, why are world powers focused on controlling strategic locations like the Panama Canal, Greenland, Canada, the Arctic? Why do you think that you don't want President Trump messing with that?
I didn't say he could mess with it. I didn't say that. I said that he couldn't own them.
You said that the Americans were trying to take over everything.
I don't think. Okay. I don't think we should take them over. Like I don't think we should annex them. I don't think we should do any of that. They're their own things. Maybe the Panama Canal, taking care of it. But other than that, no. And also to answer your question, the reason that is because of the replacements of them. It is very easy to get to certain places through them.
Well, it took a lot of lives and a lot of time to build the Panama Canal. And we had a president that I don't think was playing with a full deck, and his name was Jimmy Carter. And I say no disrespect to him, but why would he give it away? And then the Panama lets China run it, and they're charging us all kinds of money out the bahooty to let our ships pass. We needed that canal to go from the Atlantic to the Pacific instead of having to go all the way down around. So, what do you guys think? Do you think that we should take the Panama Canal back? They're going to charge us, and we're going to have to pay for it, even though we gave it as a gift. So, you think the Panama Canal
For what?
should stay with them?
I don't think it should. It's more like I think it should be maintained by all of us. I don't think it should be owned by either one of us.
Well, I think it should be because we owned it. It was ours. We built it.
We built it for everyone.
No, we didn't.
We built it for everyone's transport of ships and everyone to make it easier to get to South America.
We built it so that people could use our canal, but we didn't build it for everyone. We built it for our ships to be able to get over to the Pacific and to the Atlantic, like during wartime or getting goods
Yes,
to
but
other
now
places.
it's used for everyone, so it should be maintained by everyone. Maybe a central person, like a central country, maintains it,
Like China.
like America, or someone like that. But other than that, no.
Well, y'all have it from the Gen Z. I think we should take it back. We should have never given it away. And when China got involved and started taking and charging us so much money and stopping people if they don't want them to go through, you think that's right?
It depends on why they stop them. Why would they want
They may not have wanted certain goods to go through because they wanted their goods to go through.
Then that's not right.
That's not right.
But if it was like drugs and alcohol that were illegally being transported or people being transported, then no.
Well, that's on any port, honey, in my opinion. I'm against slave trading, selling people, drugs, alcohol, things like that. I'm against that. But back in the 20s and early 1900s, the Kennedys, which is a very nice family, they made their fortune by being bootleggers. That's how they made their money. And today, there's people that's up in Tennessee that does bootlegging of white lightning. I happen to know because I've had some of that white light. Did I try it? Mm-mm. I was afraid I'd go blind because I was told that you might go blind, so I didn't. But yeah, brought some back to Texas, so yeah, I'm telling on myself. But no, the Panama Canal, we'll just agree to disagree. She feels like that somebody else should own it or whatever. And that would have been fine if the Panama Canal, the people there would have accepted that and took care of it and ran it. But they didn't. They gave it to China. That's where I have my problem. And I want it back. And why do you not want us to take over Canada?
There's no reason to. There's literally no reason to. They're a different country. They have their own independence. They fought for their own independence. So why should we take that away from them?
Who do they fight?
They fought the French. They fought British people. They fought to get their rights as a country.
Well, if we paid them enough money and they
Why
wanted
is
to
everything
sell
about
it,
money?
the world goes around by money.
Yeah, but it's a country that has nothing to do with America.
Well, they're not doing so good right now because the president they had, Trudeau.
Yeah, that's not the country's fault. That's the people in charge's fault. Maybe they should change that. We shouldn't annex them.
Well, they are taking care of it because I think he resigned.
Then that shouldn't be a problem. Then we shouldn't take
Well,
over.
it is a problem still, and I'm going to be, I don't know one way or the other whether or not I want Canada or not. I love Canada. I love to go to Canada. I'd like to do a citizenship. I'd like to be part Canadian and part American. I don't want to be part Mexican and part Texas. That brings me to another subject, the Gulf of Mexico. That's all she's ever known. I don't have a problem with it being the Gulf of America. Do you? Why do you not want it to be a Gulf of America?
It's been that way for centuries. Why change it now? What's the radical change?
Why not change it?
We don't own it. They don't own it.
Most of it's around.
It doesn't matter if it's mostly around us.
Why doesn't it?
Because.
Well, we could call it the Gulf of Russia.
Okay, Grandma.
You said it doesn't matter if it's mostly around us. It's a little
sea. It's just a name. Why the heck do we need it to be changed to
It's
Mexico?
not even a sea. It's just a Gulf.
It's part of the sea. It's a name of the Gulf. Why should we change it?
There may be other Z's out there that believe that.
That seems idiotic. Like, literally idiotic.
I personally think it would be cool to have it the Gulf of America. I've always known it as the Gulf of Mexico. I love Mexico.
We have so many bodies of water that are named by us.
What?
We have several rivers, several lakes, several areas, several bays.
That's rivers and lakes in our country.
You just said the Gulf of Mexico is mostly around us.
It is.
And we have several bays that are around us and we name them. So.
What several bays?
Like bays around New York and stuff. We name those.
What do we name them?
I don't know the names.
Yes. We're being recorded, but you can come. You're recording.
What are you recording?
Live. Oh. She has. Do you need something important?
No, it's okay.
What?
She's going by. She's going to choir.
I love you, and I'll see you when you get back from choir. I know that you're raising a very important point. Why can't countries just respect others' borders and leave people alone? That's what you're saying about Canada, right?
Yes.
The
Why can't we just
reality
respect them?
is in history has shown that nations are always seeking more power, resources, and influence. This isn't just about land, it's about controlling
Well,
trade, energy, and security.
America has plenty control, money, and power within the world. We're number one in the world next to China and Russia. We are number one among every single country in the world. So why do we need even more power? Why do we need to? Why do we need to annex a completely different country for no reason? A very large country for no reason.
Like Canada?
Yes.
Well, I think it's in between us and one of our states.
What does Canada have to offer us that we don't have already in our borders?
Well, it's got the pipeline that Biden cut off that goes straight through Canada up to Alaska.
Well, Grandma, you say that. You see how you say names of people. The people are in charge of that. The country is not in charge of it. The people are. The leadership is in charge of that. It's not a matter of fact that we need Canada. It's the leaders that want it. It's not the matter of fact that Canada has anything to offer us or anything other than like the pipeline and stuff.
It's got minerals, all kinds of
We
minerals.
have plenty of minerals
Yeah,
here.
but we could use a lot more because you know that Clintons, when they were in power, they gave away a lot of our uranium and a lot of our lithium. You know that, don't you?
Okay, we have plenty of resources within our borders. That's why we are such a industrial and giant power of the world, is because we supply our own stuff so much that we could just go off without anyone else, and we could just go off with any other power and just be our own thing, because we are so powerful within our own borders. It's crazy. So why would we want to expand among outside our borders for no reason, like in Canada? Canada has no reason for us to be annexed into us for no
Okay,
reason.
we'll drop Canada. What about Mexico?
Why the heck would we want Mexico?
Why not? We could
They
get rid of.
fought us for their stuff. They fought Spain for their stuff.
Hey, they made out like a bandit. Not only did we win the war, Santa Ana, do you remember that little drawing?
That was
line
just
drawing?
for Texas. We weren't to get to Mexico.
We got several of the other states too, but we had to pay for
Yes.
them. The thing is, now then, if we were to take it back, they would want to make more money. They made money off that. And if
Mhm.
we took Mexico, we could do something about the cartel because it doesn't seem like they can take care of their own business.
Grandma, cartels never die.
Oh, yeah, they do. Oh, yeah, they do. Just like Hamas can die.
We cannot. Okay, it would be such a long battle between them. It wouldn't even be worth it. There would be millions and millions, even trillions of dollars just to get these people out of there and to help people and to get them out of gangs, and remove anything other than like peaceful operations.
You do know that they have got so many tunnels coming from Mexico all across the United States border down into California to the Gulf of
Why-
Mexico.
Okay.
We need to blow those tunnels up.
That has nothing to do with owning Mexico.
I think that if we owned it, we could do what we wanted to with it and we could increase their poverty level. Have you ever been into Mexico to where, not the tourist cities, but into the
No.
city? They live in homes with no windows, dirt floors, and they have nothing.
Well, I'm just gonna say I don't think a lot of Mexican people would agree with us owning them. Would agree with us as American people owning their country that they are living in. They have their own culture in.
That's
They
why
have-
they've
they
all come
have-
over here.
and they've in history have fought Spain and us just to have their piece of land.
And that's why they all come over here, because
They come
they're
over
so
here.
great.
I didn't say they were so great.
They'd be great if we owned them.
No, not necessarily.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah, maybe if they wanted to migrate, they can migrate to China or Russia.
a lot of people come over here because they need refugee status. Because there are cartels, there are people who ruin their lives. That doesn't necessarily define Mexico. That defines the cartels who want power and people and money. They do not define Mexico as a whole.
Yes,
so why,
it does.
It does not.
Yes, it
It
does.
does not define. Okay, cartels do not define Mexico as a whole country.
There are a lot of good Mexican people. I love Mexico. There's a lot of good people there, but the cartel, they can't fight the cartel. It's going to take somebody with a massive army. And another thing, every policeman, congressman, or whoever down there in Mexico running it, they take kickbacks from the cartel. That's why the cartel can take young girls like you and rape them and kill them.
Here's another pointing out of what you're saying. It's the people. It's the leadership. It's not the country of the people in the country. It's literally the cartels and the people who are doing wrong by the actual Mexican people. Sorry,
I love the Mexican people.
And they have their own set of cultures, set of beliefs, set of whatever. Okay, and why the heck would we want to change that as America? Because once we own it, everyone is going to change a country's culture.
Well, have you not noticed that America is melting pot?
Yes, America
And
has.
we've got Muslims, their little communities, and they've got this little community and this little community. So what would be the difference of us taking over and helping those people? Because the cartel,
I
they
don't
can't
see
fight
how
them.
it would help. I really don't see how it would help.
Well, I hope that you wake up to the fact that we could help them with our armies.
Well, why don't we just help them with the armies instead of taking over Mexico?
Because the leaders are in the pockets of the cartel.
Exactly.
And
leaders.
We would have to get the leaders out, and we would need to be the leaders, okay?
The leaders need to get out.
They're not going to get out because of the cartel, honey. If we could get them to change and have a political thing, every time they do, the cartel buys them off. Every time. Now, I know you got your opinion, and I appreciate that. And that's why I wanted to talk to you and let other people hear your opinion, because that's a very passionate opinion. But we'll just, again, agree to disagree on that one. I think because of the leaders, they can't do anything about it because the cartel always gets them in their pocket. It's not the people. You're absolutely right. Most of those people are scared to death of the cartel. They're afraid they're going to come and take their family and take their kids. But that's why they come over here. But we just had somebody that was no brains that opened up the borders and let everybody come in from China, Turkey, Iran, everywhere, wherever you wanted to come from. Come on through the border. Do you think we need to have open borders?
I don't think necessarily we should have open borders. I think we should have a more like it's like a less complicated version of refugee, like being able to become a refugee if you're actually in danger.
Like, we've always had that.
Yes, but I'm meaning like without being absolutely defiled by by people along the way, and I think it's not, our system is not very great on the border thing. I don't think we should have people who are crossing illegally over the border. I think we should have them either have refugee status or have citizenship or visas or whatever slip you want to give them.
We had those,
Yes.
but they decided they wanted to come in a mass invasion to our country, millions, to take our money that we've got that we need for people, our veterans, our homeless people, to come over here and get money, flown around on airplanes, living in luxury hotels, all because of somebody taking the border down. We had it set up to where people could come and get in here legally by going through the right process. And Trump will put that back in place again. He's determined to get MS-13 and all of the illegals that have been released from retarded hospitals, people that have been killers. Those countries, and matter of fact, one of the countries, I think it was Colombia, said, we're not taking them back. You know what Trump said? Oh, yeah, you are. And they did some negotiating, and guess what? They're taking them back. They don't need to be here. Do you remember when those boys in New York got in trouble because of what they did, something very bad, and they should have gone to jail? Well, somebody helped them to get out because they're bleeding heart for the refugees, the immigrants or whatever. And then after they let them out, you know what they did to them? Shot the finger to us. Like, F you, I can do what I want to do. That's their culture right now because of the cartel. I would love to have Mexico like it used to be. I used to go to Mexico all the time, but not like it is now because of the cartel. So if we went in there and took it over, we could make a change.
I think helping military wise would be wise, but I don't think owning it and allowing our citizens to be in their country.
Okay, then let me ask you this. Why should our boys go over there and give their blood and be killed for something that's not ours?
I didn't say they should have. I said if they want. I'm meaning like if they want it. That's not up to me to decide that. That's up to whoever's higher. That is up to the leadership of America and Mexico coming together and discussing that amongst themselves and their peers.
And if they decide to
they
say,
decide to do military leadership, that's fine. Like exchange or whatever. But owning it, no.
what if they say, we want you to take it, we can't handle it, so we're going to sell it to you?
Then that's fine. That's up to them.
Then you have no problem with that.
No, because it's up to them.
That's good, because if my boys are going to go up there and bleed and die, I want that country. Because Vietnam War was a war started by LBJ and a few others, and it just went on and on and on and on and on and on, and it was a no-win war.
I just don't think we should offer it first. I think they should offer it if they can't handle it. If they can't handle it truly, then they can ask us for blah 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 money or negotiate it with us however money we were willing to give for their however many square miles of land they have.
Well, like Ukraine, are you for that war?
I think it's a dumb war.
Should have never started.
I think Ukraine and Russia should have just stayed separate, and Russia needs to back off on the other countries because, like America, they also have a lot of power and a lot of money and a lot of leadership.
Ukraine used to be part of Russia.
Yes, I know. A lot of Europe used to be. So I don't think it should have started because Putin is greedy and wanted it back, even though that's not how things work.
Well, those were some subjects that we were talking about that she's very passionate about, which she has her opinion. She didn't go through some of the Cold War and the hot wars that we went through and the things that we had to go through to see that Sometimes the only way that you can make something work is to go and take it. Like Greenland. Greenland is a strategic location that would be great for our military. Okay? She does not agree, so we're not going to get into that discussion because we haven't got time. We're just about to run out of time. And is there any other thing that we talked about on the way home from church that you didn't like me saying?
That's literally it.
I don't want to talk about the other things that we talk about that you get onto me all the time. We're just going to leave that alone because we were going to talk about these things here.
Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I do. Because I didn't want any fluff in this. I wanted us to. So, do you think countries should protect their borders at all costs, or this whole thing just an excuse for more control? Drop your thoughts. If you've got any, let me know. What's your thought on it?
So is the question asking should countries protect their borders, or is it just because they want to control other people?
Mr. Wright, could you step over here, please?
Is he even here?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I know we're having a discussion today, and our guest is Apple Luke, and she's a very intelligent junior. I do love that she has a brain. So if you could come in here and could you tell us why you think we should take Greenland?
Greenland? I thought we were answering the other one.
Hmm?
I thought we were answering the other one.
Which one?
The question you just asked me.
About the borders?
Mhm.
That's going to get into that.
Okay.
That's going to get into that.
As in Greenland to be like a protectorate type thing.
What do you think? Should we take it?
We can definitely increase our availability to have that in
Look at the
strategic location,
camera.
and it's a good
Look at the camera.
place in the world where strategically, and it's a large island basically that we could have bases and all that from the northeast threat that we have to have from the west all the time. And of course, you can come over the polar ice cap to get there too with your missiles. But Iceland would be a definite nice big base to have and spread things out.
Iceland or Greenland?
Iceland and Greenland both, basically.
What about Mexico? Should we buy Mexico?
No,
Or should they fight for their borders?
they can fight for their own borders down there.
What about the cartel?
They just have to deal with them.
But we're dealing with them. They're in America.
That's true. And I'm sure if they start antagonize our border even more, we'll just take care of that real quick.
What about Canada? She does
Um,
not agree with Canada becoming part of the United States.
They're good trade partners. They're Canadians. And I think they'd probably be more happier being just Canadian and not being an actual part of the U.S. or another state like the 51st state here. But we can definitely open up more negotiations. And they're a little liberal in place. They're anti-gun, that sort of thing, on a lot of things. And a lot of their people don't agree with their current leadership there also. So that's getting ready to the old proverbial pendulum swings the other direction.
Didn't
So that's getting-
Trudeau already get
Basically,
down?
Trudeau's been out of the picture there, yes.
A lot of people are very proud, if in Canada, are very proud to be Canadians and don't want to change.
Hmm.
I would be proud to be a Canadian.
Like,
I'd like
very
to have
proud.
dual citizenship. I used to want to have a citizenship in Mexico till the cartel took over and the Mexicans didn't have enough balls, backbone. That's what I meant to say, backbone, to take care of business, but instead they got paid off. They got paid off.
Money talks loud, and bigger money talks even louder.
And then the other one about she feels like the Panama Canal should stay there and somebody be assigned to run it. And we thought that's what was going to happen. I think when Jimmy Carter gave it to them, that Panama was going to run it, but they ended up giving it to China to run it.
And of course, Peanuts should have never negotiated that to give that away. That was just typical political appeasement of somebody that was rattling their jaws down there. Oh, I need to appease him, and I'll go ahead and give it to him here in a few years. But that is a royal screw up thanks to Peanuts in charge of that deal.
Well, tell them who you think Peanuts is.
Well, that's Jimmy Carter. He just died not too long ago.
Because the canal isn't just a waterway, it's one of the most important trade routes in the world. And we built it.
That's right.
And if a country gains influence over it, they can control what goods get through and who has to pay and how much. Greenland has rare minerals and Canada has vast resources. These places are valuable and the world powers don't want to be left out. So they're going to be vying for it, not just the Americans.
And Canada's got a lot of oil. And
So
the Panama Canal is so important strategically.
I
Not
know.
only just for trade, but in case there's some sort of military conflict or something like that, we need to get our warships from one side to the other. And instead of having to go all the way down to the south to get around, which adds weeks to your travel.
That was the whole purpose of us building.
Exactly, to get across even that much quicker.
And she's young, she's a Zen, and we're baby boomers. She didn't know what all went into the Panama Canal.
It doesn't necessarily mean I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, I know you know what you're saying. I think you're a very intelligent young woman. You've got a very good brain. I'm not saying that, but I don't think you know the total import of us taking our Panama back, the Panama Canal.
Which should have never been given away to begin with.
Exactly. But we're not going to keep going. You see what Gen Z thinks? What another baby boomer
Baby
thinks?
boomers.
What I think? What do you think? How about giving us something in the chat and let us know? Because we're going to have these every Sunday. Next week we might have a dog. I don't know. But there's this pilot I know that might come. I don't know. And then there's this guy that runs a head shop. I didn't know what a head shop was. You know what I thought a head shop was? You know, in Africa where they would cut people's heads off and shrink them? I thought that's what that was, where they would sell these little heads you could buy to put in your car.
So that's the shrunken head shop over there.
Well, I'm serious. They really have those in people's cars. They go around driving with these little skulls. I thought that was a head shop. So, you know, now I know what a real head shop is. But anyway, have you got anything else to add to it that I've said that you've not agreed with at all?
I don't agree with a lot of things y'all say on that. But some I do, some I don't.
What one point can you say we agree on?
I agree that, well, I agree with Grandpa that Mexico can fight their own wars, can fight their own stuff. They have plenty of military strength.
They haven't done it.
Well, that doesn't mean they can't.
Okay, so that's one thing. So what else?
I don't think Canada should. No, they're too proud to be Canadians to be ours.
They very well may be. There may never be annexed Canada. That's something Trump is just wanting to do.
Wanting can mean a lot of different things in political power.
And Greenland, I am all for Greenland because of the wars we're getting into.
We have plenty of other strategic locations other than Greenland, which is owned by, I believe, Denmark.
Up there in that area, we've got some better locations in Greenland.
I don't think up in there, but I think we have plenty of other locations that we can definitely use to our advantage. We're America with several different places we could do.
Okay, well, you've heard it from us today. We're going to leave it at that. We're just going to agree to disagree. If you think we should take the Panama Canal back, let us know. If you think we should get Greenland, let us know. What do you think we should do about Mexico? I know the wall's going back up. And I know that it's going to take a long time to get over 1 million people back out of this country, if they can invite them.
It's like 20 million that came.
And how many little girls ended up, and little boys ended up disappearing to be sold for sex trafficking? That is deplorable.
They admit to 300,000, so you know there's got to be more than that.
And that's awful. That's awful. I feel sorry for these people. Some of them do need to come, just like there's a gentleman at our church. He is over here to get, what do you call it? A green card, whatever, because he's a refugee that is in danger. He was serving one commander. They had a coup. He's gone, and everybody that was in that, they want to kill him. So he's over here trying to get status. So we hope that that goes through for him. So not everybody that comes over here shouldn't be here. So I'm going to let it go if you don't have anything else to say. And I thank you very much for taking your Sunday afternoon and letting me know your thoughts, because I know that we don't agree on a lot of things, because we got how many centuries between us?
Several.
Several centuries, yeah. I'm older than dirt. So anyway, I love all of you. A big shout out to you. I love you, and a shout out to God. Above all, put him first, and he will lead, guide, and direct. Thank you. Can you put the
Can you please?
Hey, you do it, Daddy.
Thank you. No, you don't have to look at it all the time.
You're supposed to until I cut it off. That's what they taught me when I had